Each time dawn breaks and we step onto the fields, there's a heavy weight in our hearts that words can't quite capture. We're not here for thrills, we're here to protect the hard-earned harvest of the farmers. Seeing rows of corn torn apart by wild boars makes my chest tighten with pain. Every gunshot that echoes across the land is a reminder of our duty to safeguard this peace. Today, we face a massive boar weighing over 200 kilos, fierce and unyielding. But behind us stand the crops, the people, and their livelihood, and nothing will make us back down. At first light, in a desolate valley surrounded by towering mountains, the silence was shattered by the crack of the first gunshot. The hunt had begun. Out of the brush burst a massive boar, charging straight at us with raw fury. My heart pounded, eyes locked on the target. I gripped the stock tight, drew a deep breath, and pulled the trigger. The shot thundered through the air, and the beast collapsed, its heavy body crashing to the ground with a force that shook the earth. We pushed deeper into the thick brush, the kind of place wild boars love to hide. Suddenly, a massive shadow burst out from behind the dense foliage. Our dogs lunged forward, barking furiously, closing in fast. The beast had reached the moment it would pay for all the destruction it caused. I raised my gun and pulled the trigger without hesitation. The shot was clean and precise, dropping it instantly. A swift, dramatic takedown, setting the stage for an even more intense hunt ahead. From another corner, my partner John was already in position, his eyes locked on the charging beast. In a split second, he pulled the trigger, the first shot grazed past, breaking the boar's momentum and slowing its furious charge. Seizing the moment, he fired again. This time, the bullet struck true. The massive boar staggered, then crashed heavily to the ground, bringing a tense showdown to its end. As the sun slipped behind the mountains and darkness settled over the fields, the hunt pressed on. The night was silent, broken only by heavy breaths and the glow of the thermal scope tracking every movement. Then we spotted a wild boar, completely absorbed in feeding, unaware of the danger closing in. In a split second, the trigger was pulled, the bullet flying true. The beast dropped instantly, quick, clean, and decisive. A flawless takedown in the dead of night. But the hunt wasn't over yet, it carried on at another spot. Through the scope, a whole herd of boars came into view, and suddenly one large target stepped right into the crosshairs.
A storm of bullets rained down, taking out a good number of them.
With only a split second to decide, I pulled the trigger.
shot. And then
The shot rang out sharp and clean, and the beast dropped before it even sensed the danger. What do you think of this shot? Share your thoughts in the comments. Night was fading as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon. In the misty silence, the final shot rang out, and a heavy boar collapsed onto the field. That moment marked the end of the hunt, every target dealt with cleanly. The land fell quiet again after hours of tension. The hunters let out a breath of relief, knowing what they had gained was more than just gained. They had secured the safety of the crops and the livelihood of the people who depended on them. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you won't miss our next thrilling videos.